11 centers on the hot seat. Nancy Marino and company have some explaining to do. Bill Lowry in Allentown looks for every dime on his way to a record-setting day and a record-setting month. Year-to-date revised rankings, July revised rankings. Maine was I wrong, and it's up to you to decide all that and more. Today is Thursday, July 30th. This is PWLC News. We've got just today, tomorrow, and for those of you that are open on Saturday, left to finish out the month, and what a month it is turning out to be. I know Time or Newsweek put a big headline on the front page this week that says the recession is over. I don't know about that, but it's starting to smell like everything is turning towards some good things. Let's start with the rankings because the story with all of these headlines are all based in the rankings. So let's take a look at our top 25 year-to-date, our top 25 for July, and let's look at the story within the story. Top 25 year-to-date. Columbus 540, Eau Claire, Plantation, Avon, Allentown, Margate, Gainesville, Mansfield, Sea Ranch Lakes, Charleston, Coral Springs, Melbourne, Zanesville, Columbia Northeast, Davie, Onalaska, Florence, Strongsville, Parma Heights, Manassas, Fairfax, Okeechobee, Pensacola, Scranton, and Miami. Now, we'll come back to this because there's a story within a story in this top 25. Let's take a look at the top 25 for July. Top 25 for July, in reverse order. Number 25, Auburn, Allentown, Eau Claire, Willoughby Hills, Stroudsburg, Sea Ranch Lakes, Margate, Canton, Beechwood, Beckley. Wilkes-Barre, Mansfield, Zanesville, Coral Springs, Florence, Davie, Florida, Fairfax, Charleston, Okeechobee. Here are your top 5 or 6 here. Strongsville, Pensacola, Parma Heights, Manassas, Scranton, and Miami. Let me dispense with the traditional races. Scranton and Manassas are about a program apart. You'll see it. You probably have seen it already with the rankings that went out by fax. It's about one client's product purchases difference between Parma Heights and Pensacola to change rank for July. Same thing holds true. It's about a program difference between Strongsville and Okeechobee in changing their rank. It's pretty much the percentage of tax having to be paid on the next sale is the difference between Fairfax and Charleston. Davie, Florida, and Florence, again, are sales tax apart from each other. I'd say a program apart between Zanesville and Mansfield for the month. Wilkes-Barre, Beckley, Beechwood, Canton are all neck and neck and are about one restart apart from each other collectively to change the rankings completely. And then we've got a head-to-head battle with Margate, Sea Ranch Lakes, Stroudsburg, Willoughby Hills, Eau Claire, Allentown, and Auburn are all so close. They're all, if just one of them sells one program, they'll leap over everybody else. And in some cases, the first center I read off, leap over them. So July is really shaping up to have a great sales battle going on, which is a lot of fun. If you're into that kind of thing, if you're into making money and hitting your goals and exceeding your objectives. But let's take another look at the story within the story. Remember I said I thought some centers would show up on the radar that were attended the June training? Man, was I wrong about the count. Let's just take look at the month-to-date rankings. There are 11 of 25 centers that are in the top 25 for July that were at the training in June. They are Michelle Hodges from Auburn, Bill Lowry from Allentown, Pam Callahan from Sea Ranch Lakes and Coral Springs, Nancy Marino's Canton and Beechwood centers, Janelle Pett's Beckley and Charleston centers, Sue and Joel Rosengrant's Wilkes-Barre Center, Ron and Christy Isaacs Mansfield Center, Phyllis Wyckoff's Zanesville Center. All 11 of those centers attended the training I think it was the 3rd week of June on how to run your center and manage your center like a sales organization, which is the major theme and topic for the regional meeting starting Tuesday. They almost dominate, and I have a feeling when some other numbers come in from some other centers, more than half of the centers in the top 25 month to date will be out of that group. Just a case in point, Nancy Marino centers alone did $45,000 last week. Allentown, Bill Lowry, had his anniversary sale and promotion, did $7,243 in one day, record-setting day for his center. It's his biggest month ever already, so anything he adds on top of it will be a record. And by the way, Bill said he spent about an hour, because he was 45 bucks or so off, just to make sure that he had his numbers accurate. So, hey, something like that, you either kick in or just eat the 45, Bill. Now, let's take a look at year-to-date. In the year-to-date, there are 6 centers that attended the June training that are already in the top 25 now, year-to-date. That includes Bill Lowry now, Allentown, Ron and Christy Isaac, Mansfield, Pam Callahan's Sea Ranch Lake Center, Janelle Pett's Charleston Center, Pam Callahan's Coral Springs Center, and Phyllis Wyckoff's Zanesville Center. And Phyllis is on her way to breaking back into the top 10 again. She's only 3 rankings away from being in the top 10, and I'm going to say she really only needs if she picks up a couple $1,000s a month for the rest of the year, she'll definitely be in the top 10. So there's these big stories that are brewing with these centers that have attended and participated in a training on how to manage and organize and drive your center like a sales organization. So with that said, you don't want to miss out on the meetings. Now, let's talk a little bit more about these rankings for just a moment. And I want to isolate some folks. I want to isolate Carolyn Murray and Javier Fernandez, Clarksville, Maryland, Pinecrest. I still have no sales data year-to-date. So needless to say, I don't have it for July either. The following centers have not turned in sales data for July. Allison Timmis on Alaska, Michael Goodrich, Dallas, Amy Lynn, Wadsworth, Shirley Hobson, Baraboo, Tamara Smith and Michael McNulty, Shreveport, Dr. Marvanko, Baltimore, Dr. Armas, Miami, Carolyn Murray, Clarksville, Dr. Kohanek, Boca Raton, Lisa Goodlett, Orangeburg, Kimberly Cameron and Mike Monger, Palm Beach Gardens, Sparky Dravenko in Chesapeake, the Doctors Bottolato in Melbourne, obviously Javier Fernandez in Pinecrest, Bruce Morosco in Palm Coast, Dr. Richter in Plant City, and Roberta Smith, Tech Smith in Lexington. No data from those centers. Please get that data in as soon as possible so we have a really good read on exactly how the rankings will end up and where our sales data is. Now, I'll leave it up to you to decide. Just as a reminder, our agenda starting Tuesday in Allentown, and I can't wait to be there along with Baltimore, the Baltimore meeting. And by the way, I think we're at 100% attendance, confirmed attendance, except for one person in Allentown. I think everybody else, excuse me, has turned in their information. Remember, we're going to cover managing your center like a sales organization, organizing your ads and marketing like a sales organization, marketing like a sales organization, getting over the hurdles, perceived hurdles so you can run your center like a sales organization, what you need to know every single day to run your center like a sales organization, increasing appointments, and appointment set and appointment show like a sales organization, closing more sales like a sales organization, communicating with your center staff as well as with us like you're running a sales organization. We'll get into getting more referrals, how to motivate staff, compensate staff, reading financials, and increasing client traffic like a sales organization. We'll get into setting goals for your center, for your staff, like a sales organization, and so much more. There's just a ton of stuff that is, you just don't want to miss it, but I'll leave it up to you to decide. And again, I want to just make a quick comment. Usually the no-shows are the people that are the closest to the meeting. I don't know what your deal is. If the shoe fits, wear it. Otherwise, don't worry about it. But the bigger story here is those that have already attended one of these trainings are showing huge advances, huge movement, huge growth forward, huge leaps in the rankings. You decide, is this meeting the kind of meeting you want to attend and get your head on straight for and start driving your center like a sales organization. Have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.